I want to introduce 3 indicators on TradingView that are the best and the only indicators that you need to identify order block. But you may ask, what is order block? I explain it very shortly, only in 1 minute, and then I add the indicators and explain the indicators. Order block are basically price ranges where large market participants placed buy or sell orders. So in that price range, large market participants like banks, hedge funds, mutual funds, investment companies, or other large institutional traders entered or exit the market with large amount of capital, creating significant price movement in the market. So in simple words, order blocks are price ranges where relatively large amounts of orders are executed. But you may ask, what's the point? Why it should be important? The point is when relatively large amounts of orders are executed in a price range, it creates imbalance between supply and demand, which is the main reason the price suddenly advances or declines considerably. This imbalance between supply and demand can act as a very strong support or resistance levels for the future price action, so helping you with your trade entry, stop loss, and profit target. And now you may ask how we can identify order blocks on the chart. You can do it in 2 ways: price action analysis or indicators. Identifying order blocks by the help of price action is not easy, and it needs many years of experience to correctly identify order blocks on the chart, and this can be really challenging for beginners or even traders with several years of experience. But we have also some indicators that makes it very easy to identify potential order blocks on the price chart. And in this video, I'm going to introduce 3 indicators on TradingView that, in my opinion, they are the best and most accurate order block indicators on TradingView platform. Just make sure you watch this video until the end, and let's get started. But before we start, if you like my contents, please support the channel by liking the video and subscribing to my channel if you haven't subscribed yet. Alright, let's add the first indicator. Here we click on indicators and we search order blocks. We add this one, which is written by Flux chart. Alright, this is the indicator, and as you can see, some levels and information are added to the chart. Let me explain them. As you can see, some areas of the price chart are marked with different colors, and if you pay attention, you can see that their beginning is actually starting of a considerable price movement in the market. These areas, these price ranges are order blocks, and technically, in terms of price action, it's actually one candle before starting of the considerable movement in the market. As I mentioned earlier, these areas can act as support or resistance level for the future price action. For example, this is a bullish order block and it can act as a support level. This is also a bullish order block and a potential support level in this zone. And this is a bearish order block and it can act as a resistance level. You can see how the price turned after reaching to this zone. This indicator has an excellent feature, which is providing volumetric information about the identified order blocks on the price chart. As I explained at the beginning of the video, order blocks are price ranges where probably large amounts of orders are executed. And now, by the help of this indicator, we have information about volume for the identified order blocks, and this can effectively help us to evaluate the strength or weakness of the identified order blocks that we have on the chart. Here, it shows total amount of volume, and the percentage shows the ratio of bullish bearish volume. This indicator gives us information for bullish and bearish volume separately for each order block that is identified, and it shows them here for easier analysis by the help of these horizontal bars. The green is buying volume and the red is selling volume. For a bullish order block, ideally we want higher amount of buying volume relative to selling volume, and in a bearish order block, we want higher amount of selling volume relative to buying volume. This feature helps you to evaluate the strength or weakness of the order blocks that are identified. For example, this bullish order block that we have here is more significant than this bullish order block, and this bullish order block that identified here is relatively stronger than them because we have considerably higher amount of buying volume in compared to selling volume for this bullish order block. The total amount of volume should also be considered, and the higher the amount of the volume, the better, because it shows higher levels of trading activity in that price range. Please pay attention that this is not a buy-sell signal indicator. These levels are not identified in real time, but instead we use them as significant levels for the future price action, and as I said, they can act as a potential support or resistance level, and this can effectively help you with your trade entries, stop loss, and profit target. Alright, now let me introduce the second indicator, but before that, I'm proud to announce that recently I published a book, The Art of Price Action Trading, which is a complete guide to price action analysis. The link is in the description and you can get it later if you want to master price action trading. Alright, now let me add the second indicator. Here we click on indicators and we search volume order blocks, this one, which is written by Big Beluga. Alright, this is the indicator, and as you can see, we have a ribbon, some levels and information that are added to the chart. This ribbon is actually built based on two exponential moving averages. When the shorter EMA crosses above the longer EMA, the area between them becomes green, showing advancing of the price in an uptrend, and when the shorter EMA crosses below the longer EMA, the area between them becomes purple, and this shows decline of the price in a downtrend. This indicator uses these EMA crossovers and some other calculations based on the price action and volume to determine the formation of bullish and bearish order blocks on the chart. These are the identified order blocks, and the volume information for each order block is shown here in front of them. These are the amount of traded volume for each order block, and the percentages that you see here is their relative strength in compared to each other based on the traded volume for each order block. On this chart, since we have only one bearish order block, so 100% credit for this one, and here we have 4 bullish order block, and the percentages show the amount of traded volume for each order block relative to the total volume of these order blocks. For example, this one has the highest amount of volume and so the highest percentage, as you can see. This indicator, by the help of exponential moving averages, price action and volume, tries to find the most significant order blocks on the chart and so helping you with your trading decisions. As I said, order blocks show imbalances between supply and demand, and they can act as a potential support and resistance level, and this can effectively help you with your trade entry, stop loss, and profit target. Alright, now let me add the third indicator. Here we click on indicators and we search order block finder, this one, which is an editor's picks indicator and written by someone named Wu Gomlo. Alright, this is the indicator, and as you can see, it's added some levels for bullish and bearish order block on the price chart. This is just a simple indicator relying only on price action for identifying order blocks on the chart in compared to the other two indicators. When the price passes a level, for example here, you can see that the price broke this bearish order block. The broken level is not removed from the price chart, and in case if you need to be aware of all the past broken significant levels that may play in the future price action, this can be very helpful for you because the other two indicators remove the levels that are already broken, so your chart will not be cluttered with many horizontal zones. I need to mention this important point one more time, that these indicators are not buy-sell signal indicators giving you trading signals in real time. No, these indicators help you to identify significant levels of the market that can be a potential support or resistance level, and this can effectively help you with your trading entry, stop loss, and profit target. Alright, that's it. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions, feel free to ask and leave a comment for me. I'll answer your questions as soon as possible. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and hit the bell so you get the notifications of my new videos. See you guys in next video and good luck with your trading.